All right, back on GJ for a New York session. Last night I caught trades. Should put that risk reward back on, but caught this trade here. This is basically a touch the wick here. I'll zoom out to show what happened, and it flew up. Here's the 1 minute. So let me clean this up for a second and see what it looks like here. So yeah, the daily looks like we have a demand zone here, and it tapped into on a daily, and that was August 5th. It tapped into the zone. You also have some supply up here, which could be marked out. Probably take this wick. It's probably encompass this. Might even encompass that, but we can kind of speculate that it can reach this level eventually. But for now, it's retracing. It had its push, flew up. What is that? It's a lot of pips. What that is. So it's of 1,000 pips. It says. I believe that's correct with this scale. It's definitely not 111. So yeah, I believe it's a yeah. So it flew up over 1,100 pips. A lot of traders caught this too. There's a fair value gap on this daily demand, and of course, it also acts, or actually, it's a support level also because with these zones and levels, a lot of times they interact with each other. Some people will tell you don't trade off of support resistance, just use supply and demand, and some people say don't use supply and demand, use support resistance, higher time frame, whatever. But a lot of times, what happens at these levels, levels that the price bounces from, it'll create a zone at that same level. So a lot of traders caught this. Support resistance traders, a lot of them could have caught this. And of course, supply and demand traders caught this. So if we look here, we have a daily supply here, and we'll see. I'm looking for the supply to break this demand right here. If the supply can break this demand zone, then we're definitely bearish for at least a little bit. If it breaks here, we could definitely take look for some sales up in this area. That's for even swing traders, intraday traders. But just looking at the overall time frame here, because it looks like we're going to do a retrace before we even attempt to go back up there. So on the 4H, yeah, we see this demand got dipped into. It actually broke here. It was able to break this high, and then it got tapped into the supply here. So the supply is a control. We'll see if the supply can beat this demand. And then ultimately go up in here and look for sales. These are higher time frame sales here from the supply. But right now, just gonna go before I go back into the lower time frames. Just trying to get a basic overview. So yeah, I think 4H, I think it's ultimately the structure is gonna go bearish once it breaks this demand zone. Let's see the 1H if it breaks it. Yeah, so what we could get here is a retrace back up here to at least this zone, maybe, or some. Here's a supply level here. We got a small fair value gap, and we have a supply zone here that could be used to just take it down a little further to break this and then retrace. So we'll have to see, of course. Right now, it is flying back up. All right, so now when we get to the lower time frame, we see some bouncing up and down, but you got to remember See, the good thing about the lower time frames, you can really get a hand on it. It's kind of a performance thing, especially with these Japanese candlesticks, because they can like flash up and down like you one. I'm talking about millisecond. You look at it as a green full candle. You're in a buy, happy. Blink your eye literally, and it's a red candle. Crash your stop loss, and I mean it's possible. So, but once you get adapted to the speed, you'll see that you can easily uh, get some nice risk to reward. Easily get your one of threes. Definitely get your one of ones if you can adapt to these lower time frames. So this is some sort of up and down here. I'm looking forward to, of course, break this. Looks like it already did. I don't think it's gonna make it back to this demand zone. So you could get a bounce here. There's a level here. Because it definitely yeah, it just broke this supply here. So basically right now, at least a 2 minute, we should be looking for buys, but the way it's flying, um, you know, might not be able to get in at the right or the perfect spots. So let's see. Yeah, must be some news. I haven't checked the news today yet. Hmm. See what gold's doing. Wow. Yeah, gold flew. Crazy. So 475 pips. A lot of people made a lot of money off of this level here. I scalped. I was in some scalps here. I didn't hold it, but you always wish you did. But whatever. We'll see. What we're looking at here. Gold is probably going to be bullish, actually, especially finishing out this the rest of the year. Gold will probably go bullish. So yeah, it looks like it did bounce off this trend line here. One, two. It's been tapped a couple times, so it might not take it back all the way down to hell. But you can, if it wants to be bullish, looks like we do have a demand zone here that you could possibly get a buy from with the confirmation candlestick. There we go. 15-minute demand zone here. So this could work out as a good. Let's see. That's a nice risk to reward there. If it wants to be bullish, like I said, if they hit this trend line, so it may want to just go down and crash through. If that's the case, then like just flip it and look for sales. All right, let's see if we get a reaction in the zone. It looks like it just tapped that area. It might have taken some demand from this wick, actually. So usually you want it to go a little deeper into the zone, but this one may fly and just go away, which is fine. Yeah, GJ is still flying. Yeah, New York session going crazy. Yeah, looks like Nas is up also. A lot of times, indices, the gold at least, a lot of times if the gold's bullish or moving bullish at a certain time, a lot of times you'll see that gold is also, or Nas is, or vice versa. All right. Yeah, 3 minutes left on this candle. It's possible. Got this doji. So yeah, it looks like it may have just took this demand already. So yeah, yep, that was a good zone. Yeah. Yeah, so that zone worked pretty well. Look at that. Look at that rejection off the zone. Once you can spot these zones, trust me, your trading will go like exponentially easier. It's so much more controllable in a sense because you know exactly where to look. Wow, it flew. All right, just made another demand zone here. Yeah, it quickly flew. Like I said, when it taps like this, especially if you took it off the 15, it's not ideal. And this candle shot up, so probably it would have been hard to get in, especially with spread on certain brokers or prop firm brokers. So you know, but if you were to get in here, put your stop on this candle, you're looking at a 37 pip stop. Yeah, I typically don't go for those most of the time. But here it actually could get you a 1 to 3. So in this case, it does look good for a 1 to 3, especially if we can break this trend line. So ideally, yeah, you would take this 1 minute bullish candle right here and beat these candles, and it's flying. Uh, so we'll see what this trend line does. Yeah, that's a missed trade for sure. Not a FOMO kicking in, but yeah, it's all good though. Conversations right now. Yeah, it looks like it inverted head and shoulders on GJ on a 1 hour after it hit that level. So yeah, that's gonna take it bullish for a few. Wow. Here's the demand zone that broke these highs. Should be trying to dig into the supply, so it could retrace into here and get you a good buy, but it also could just fly and never come back, or at least not soon enough for a reliable trade. But pretty certain this was the trade. By the time I caught it, you got to be fast on the 1 minute. But again, like I said, this zone here, I mean, it just tapped it. This fair value gap was here, so that comes into play when you're how you draw your zones. This is wicks. A lot of times these wicks also act like zones. They're just hidden zones. So it's like that's what it found some demand there. So yeah, it looks like it used this. Whoa. So if I was to be in this trade, I would put my stop loss right here at this point because it created like some support and demand here. What it seems, especially if it breaks this high, you can place your stop loss right here in profit. So So worry free. All right. Looks like definitely missed a trade. Probably won't take another trade today. Just marking out some zones here. I'll just come back to see if they reacted or not, just as a study, but probably won't take a trade. Like I said, stop loss will be here, and you can trail it or whatever. But yeah.